Hi, my name is Fatima. Today I will talk about the mixed method design as one of the research, the quantitative research designs. First, we will talk about the meaning of mixed method and when we could use it and how the mixed method design developed. We will talk about the type of mixed method design and the key characters of the mixed method, and we will talk about some ethical issues that we have in mixed method design. Then the step of making the mixed method design research. Then the important point you need to know about the mixed methods so you could evaluate other research. First, what is mixed method? It's the research design that allow the researcher to use more than one design, to use the quantitative and qualitative methods to be in one study, to understand it better, to have better understanding of the topic they are studying. First, before we go to the mixed method, we need to know the basic feature about the quantitative and qualitative. Quantitative is objective, deductive, and most the data of it, most use number on the data. The qualitative, subjective, inductive, and most of the data is words. Then, before you use the mixed method, you need to understand why you are using it. So here, some reason the researcher go to have the mixed method. First, to have a better understanding of the research problem, then also to connect if this research problem or the answer of the research cannot be answered with one method, the quantitative or qualitative, so you go to mix them together and compare them together. Also, when the researcher need to get the benefit from both the quantitative and the qualitative strategy or method of research. Before we go to it, I will show a video.
I'm sleeping.
Playing a video game on an iPad isn't unusual. This game, called Coin Soccer, is quick-paced, requiring some dexterity and good eye-hand coordination. And the goal, if you'll excuse the pun, is to score 3 goals before the computer does. Some players struggle to move the coin-like objects, and they all get the whistle for illegal moves.
I hate it when that happens.
But what they each do after playing coin soccer is very unusual.
I can't seem to move the coin when I'm sleeping.
They enter their personal reactions in a journal.
I also began to learn by watching as the computer moved its coins.
It's all part of research being conducted by Dr. John Creswell, an applied research methodologist here at the University of Nebraska. Creswell is interested in gaining research, and his goal is to develop a survey that can be given to hundreds of people. A survey is a traditional method of collecting quantitative information, such as means and distributions. But a journal is one way of getting an in-depth picture of player reactions, which can then assist in survey development.
Might really get at people's experience.
Such experiences are a type of qualitative data.
Me becomes boring over time.
Creswell could have developed his final survey by simply field testing a set of pilot questions. In other words, using a preliminary quantitative measure, a pilot survey, to develop his final survey. But there are advantages to adding a qualitative step.
So it gives you kind of a rich detail. There's no survey instrument, no quantitative measure. It's really going to give you.
The integration of qualitative and quantitative data is called mixed methods research, a field Creswell helped to pioneer.
Hey, thanks for coming into that. I really appreciate your time.
And Creswell will illustrate how to conduct a mixed methods study.
We're going to talk a little bit about playing that coin soccer video game.
These 8 participants have played coin soccer for 2 weeks now. This focus group is a second qualitative phase that will be used to supplement their journals.
It gives you more detail for one. It gives you personal stories, anecdotes.
First, who do they think the game is appropriate for?
I think it's a good game for anyone 10 or above.
And one player suggested her grandfather.
It's so easy. He's 90 and all you have to do is just flick it. So I think he's enjoying that actually.
There were areas of disagreement about the game.
The biggest skill that I would take away from it is patience.
I like the complexity of the movement of the coin when you flick it. Deciding to let it go.
It was hard to get the coin to where I wanted to go all the time, so that's a little frustrating, and you get bored quickly when you're not good at it.
But it also gives you a variation. We had quite a few people with different perspectives going on.
And some were critical.
It has a real sterile, quiet feel to it.
I thought I had shot my coin, but I hadn't. It was still there, and then it said, they will move in bright letters. It should at least make me laugh or have some variety or some trash talk or something.
Armed with the focus group's qualitative feedback, Creswell heads off to combine this with the participants' journals, which have been previously transcribed.
And you can see here where I created 1-inch margins on each side so I can write notes in. And you can kind of see I'm working in small sections here. And here they're beginning to talk about the illegal moves.
Creswell identifies over 60 kinds of comments and then organizes the comments by themes, seen here in bold.
If I had a larger database, I would have used one of the qualitative computer software programs.
He quickly designs a pilot survey, which the participants take during a break. But now the participants are back for a second focus group.
The qualitative phase to help improve the quantitative instrument. Let's talk about the survey that you filled out. You got any thoughts about what you liked about it and what you didn't?
So I think here he used both quantitative and qualitative. He used the journal and the information that he collected from all of his symbol to create his instrument and create this survey. Then he compared their journal and the information that he collected from them and designed his instrument. Then he go back to them to help give them the survey to fill it. So he used both the data. So here how mixed method research design developed. So it has like over time. First they use they mixing the quantitative, just different type of quantitative like survey and other data of quantitative, just the quantitative. Then they start combine both quantitative and qualitative data. Then they move to have questioning the integrating of worldview and methods of using the mixed method, the mixed method, the quantitative and qualitative data. So they say they have to have a worldview to see how this it's objective and subjective. Then they develop a procedure for mixed method design, because they say that we cannot just keep using both of the data or collecting both of the data. So we need to have a specific procedure for this design. Then after a while, they have the mixed method design as a separate design from the first two the other designs. Then they start a reflective period and reflect on the study and have it more accurate. Or how to identify the mixed method study? Like when you have a study article in your hand, where do you have to look? So you look at some evidence in the method section, the problem statement, and the research question. You will see the research said we use quantitative and qualitative, or they use some term from the design, the mixed method design, or in the title they will mention some of the term of mixed method design. Also, to find which design did the research use, you need to look at the data collection, because the mixed method has different designs, so you need to know which design. So to know them, look at the data collection, the data analyze, and where the study does mix the data, where the researcher start mixing the data. So in the data collection, you could see which data did they collect first and second, and the priority or the weight of the data, which data is more important than the other one. In the data analyze, how they combine the data and separate it from each other. Then where they collected, where they mixed the data together, they could mix it during data collection, or between data collection and data analyze, during data analyze, or in the end when they interpretation of the study. Yeah, when they get the result of the study, they will mix the data. So here's the type of mixed method design. The first one, the convergent design. It's to compare quantitative and qualitative result. So they will connect both the data, the quantitative and the qualitative data, and analyze it in the same time, compare or relate them to each other, then come up with the result. Well, in the other one, in the explanatory design, they mix the data to explain the quantitative result with the qualitative data. So they start connecting the quantitative data and analyze it. Then after that, they follow up with a qualitative data. The purpose of that is to explain the quantitative data. Then they come up with their result, and they say what's the comparing between the two data. The third type is the exploratory data design. It's the opposite. So they start with the qualitative data the qualitative data, then they form the instrument. It's the same design like what he did. Yeah, I think, yeah. I'm not sure if he used this design or the number 5 design. We will see. Okay. So he, in this design, collect the qualitative data, then format your instrument or your your instrument, then use the quantitative data to explore your qualitative data and then compare this to. Yeah, I'm not sure if you use this one or the first or the third one. So the embedded design added qualitative data into experiment before or during or after connecting, or after conclude. So the first one collect them together. The second one quantitative first, then the qualitative. The third one qualitative first, then the quantitative. Here collected during an experiment, either before it began, or drawing it, or after the connect. Collected the major primary form of data, so either one, quantitative or qualitative data. Then drawing that, or before or after it, collect the supportive data to support the major one. Fifth one is advanced, which is more complex than the first three. Yeah. Then the fourth one is in between. This one is more advanced. So in this one, they use one of the four in one through one frame. So you choose a frame and choose one. You choose frame like ethnic or disability or gay or disability perspective. One of these framework, and do your research through this lens, through this framework. Yes. But the book mentioned there are a challenge in using this research because they still learn how to do one of the first four design through this through one of the lens in this one. It's mostly used in social justice studies. The sixth one is multi-stage design. This one mostly used in medical and health field, so they have more than one study or more than one phase, doing it separately or together, then they compare the result from this. So these different study, these different phase could use different design. One of the first three design. Yeah. Key characters of mixed method. So the key characters, it's supposed to have a retention for the design, why they use the design or what's the important. Collect both quantitative and qualitative data. Consider the priority of data, which one more important than data than the other. Consider the sequence of collecting the data, when to collect the data together or one before the other. Then match the data analyzed to the design that you choose. Then diagram the procedure. So we will go in depth in this. So first, provide the potential for the design. The researcher have to have a clear purpose of using this design or choosing this design. Like the important to test the qualitative or to explore the data. Yeah, as we said in the beginning. So basically, the potential is the purpose behind choosing to use this design. So